Hello. Today I'm actually going to be featuring a bit of a different kind of video. There I am. Hello. Well, actually, I'm looking into the webcam that's kind of looking somewhat towards you guys. Namely, gear. It's something that actually gets asked quite a bit from me. What kind of gear do I run? Now, Logitech has actually sent me a bunch of stuff recently. I'm under no requirement to actually say anything positive about it. I haven't signed any contract. I haven't even made it in deal. In fact, I wouldn't even need to make this vid if I didn't want to. But I'm doing it mostly because, well, the stuff has been good. I am super picky about what kind of stuff I use. I'm super picky about the gear that I run. I'm super picky about basically everything that I run. And as you can probably tell, I have a lot of different gear. And honestly, I also have, of course, a 2 PC streaming setup. And once again, I am very picky about the stuff that I run. So, in order for Logitech to actually win me over and not pay me to say something positive about the gear, well, it has to be quite convincing for me. Of course, I could call the gear stuff, call the gear shit, but I mean, there would be actually no penalty for me. They probably wouldn't send me more gear, but if I thought it was shit, I probably wouldn't care anyway. So, yeah, well, first of all, the most basic is probably the webcam, honestly. I've tried a couple of them. I think this is Logitech 4K webcam. It's been, like, overwhelmingly the best. In fact, you probably noticed that the green screen behind me, I managed to get it perfectly clipped out, and honestly, the crispness has been far superior despite the fact that there's a gigantic green screen behind me. It's just been very easy. In fact, function has been something that has kind of won me over here. So I like the webcam, I like it quite a bit. This is their most recent thing, and that's like the Litra. It's a light that basically, well, you can see it looks like there's a camera light on me, which makes it look better on video. It makes me stand out more from the green screen. It makes it clearer. I used to be running that thing there. Can you see that gigantic thing there in the corner? That used to be my light. And obviously it took up a massive amount of space on my desk, which is already kind of cramped. And this current thing is just so much easier because, I mean, you can just, well, I could probably just show this on the PC, but basically you can just go here into the editing and you can tweak it here. You can play with the values, like we can turn up the brightness to something like this. And yeah, as you can probably tell, you're gonna get a lot of stuff out of it. In fact, you can hotkey this to different things if you so wanted to make it easier. But that thing has already impressed me to the extent that I've replaced my old system. Basically, that's kind of the reason why I'm making this vid, is because a lot of their stuff has made me replace my old gear. And if something is good enough to replace my old gear, I generally consider it pretty well. And considering I had zero hardware paid sponsors, I can say exactly what I think about things and which things I like and things that I don't like. The second thing is the keyboard. I think it's a, oh god, G195 TKL. I think that's what it's called. And oh my lord, I have been a fan of this one. Okay, I don't have any of the fancy lights on now. I think we might have to close the Logitech thing for the fancy lights to go on, or we can just press the different buttons for the fancy lights to go on. There you go. You can tweak them, you can set up animations and stuff, but honestly, all of that is kind of irrelevant. Obviously, I like when a keyboard looks good, but it's not a big priority to me. However, what I do like the clicks on it. It's very nice to type on. It's not nearly as loud. I used to have a really loud mechanical keyboard. This one though is very nice, very compact. It doesn't move or glide at all. When I place it on the keyboard, no matter what I do, or place it on the table, it doesn't move. It's stationary, it's functional. And probably one of the features that I like the most is that, well, if you look at, I'm now on this PC. You see, I'm on this PC. I'm connected to this PC, well, straight through USB, or what is it called? Lightspeed, I think they call it. Not sure if it's, well, I think it was called Lightspeed probably. But what I really like about this is that, once again, functionality. It has eliminated the need for a second keyboard for me. Namely, you see I'm on this one here. I press the button, this one, I switch to Bluetooth, and now I press the same button, and I am now on this PC. So I can, and this PC is connected to, that monitor is connected to my streaming PC, whereas this big one here is connected to my gaming PC. And switching back is just as quick. You switch back, and now I'm back on this one. So I can hot switch between my streaming PC and my gaming PC wirelessly. And yeah, I used to have a second keyboard here. I used to try to run double Bluetooth things. I used to run a lot of USB splitters. Like, I've tried a lot of them, and it was a pain in the ass. But on this thing, I literally just switch it from Lightspeed to USB, and then it basically instantly connects to my second PC, and then it's plugged to this one. So when I need to change scenes, I need to edit things on OBS, I need to type something like BRB, emergency, whatever, I press the button and switch, and then I just press right back to this PC, and I'm back gaming on this PC. So once again, the big selling point for me isn't the LED lights or whatever, it's the functionality. It works really well, it sounds good, it looks good, it sits where it does, and it has solved problems for me, namely quick PC switching, which has been surprisingly difficult in the current age. Honestly, I thought that would have been a really simple thing. Switch between PCs, like, it's 2022, you'd think it would be a simple thing. Good God, no, it is not. It is surprisingly, well, words that I probably shouldn't be using. Point though is, since it is a tactile, for example, when I have to do some numbers things, let's say taxes, I did actually buy an extra one of these. It cost me like 15 euros or something, just a USB numpad. So if need be, I can just move it down here, and I have the extra numpad, but I don't really use it, very, very rarely. Most of the time I like the compactness of this one. Finally, the other gear that has sold me is the mouse plus mousepad combination. I like light mice. I don't know if it's because my hand is so small, maybe, probably plays a partial role in it. I like light and small mice. And this thing is called SUPERLIGHT? G-Pro SUPERLIGHT, I'm pretty sure it's called. And this thing is wireless and absolutely ridiculously light. Now, I probably shouldn't mention other brands, but whatever. I used to love the Death Adder. I used to love the Razer Death Adder, but, well, they break all the time, which pisses me off. They used to break all the time. Apparently it's been fixed in the latest version, but I kept having issues with it breaking. Also, also the fact that this thing is actually lighter and actually more comfortable in my hand, which I didn't think I would actually find, because I used to love the shape of the Death Adder, but this one is absolutely god tier in lightness and basically ease of use. The other thing that I really like about it, it's wireless, but it's actually being charged as we speak. Because the other gimmick they have is this mousepad, which is obscenely expensive for a mousepad. Like, well, at least in Finland, it was something like 100 and something euros, like super expensive for a mousepad. But what it actually does is, well, you can look below here. Let's see. Below here, this thing actually comes off here. This thing can be replaced. Underneath here is a surface that wirelessly charges your mouse. And the receiver, where the mouse connects, is right here, and this thing is actually plugged into the PC. So this right here is your wireless charger. So the distance is very small, and the connection is always excellent. So the latency is completely non-existent. I'm very picky about like having good latency and stuff, and I hate any sort of mouse lag, any sort of delay. This thing doesn't have it. Like, the mouse is super, super good. Exactly where I click, it's been fantastic. And the fact that it's a wireless mouse where I never have to think about charging it, something I would probably forget, or considering when I do like long streams, 12-hour streams, having to suddenly plug in the mouse would absolutely suck. But I just had a long ass stream go on. Wait, where's our? I just streamed for what, 12 hours? No, sorry, I just streamed for what, 8 hours, 9 hours? It's Tone Deaf Tuesday. And my mouse sits at what, steady 75% 85% charging. It's called, what is it called? It's called POWERPLAY. That's what it's called, this mouse mount. So these have all been just basically functional upgrades. Like if if a hardware company wants me to say something good about their stuff, this is the kind of shit that I love. This is the kind of shit that I love. Like this mouse combo actually is better than my old stuff. This keyboard solved a bunch of my own issues. The webcam has basically been never had any issues, just crisp, clear, whatever. And this new lighting system gave me a ton of disk space, and it's just so easy to sort out on my PC. So yeah, these are things I get asked about. When I've been talking a fair bit lately that I kind of really like the shit Logitech has been sending me. Well, there's a reason why I like it. It works. It works. If it didn't work, I mean, okay, negative shit. We have to mention some negative shit. There's like these pads you can glue onto the mouse. These things. I glued all of them on, but there was one pad that I had here, the thumb pad. Yeah, don't glue that on. I highly regretted it. It started like coming apart straight away, like glue started leaking and shit, until I finally today I just took some alcohol and I just cleaned it off and got rid of it. Now it's nice and clean again, but yeah, I don't know, the quality on the glue that they use on these pads, considering the price of the mouse, it's well over 100 euros as well. Yeah, not kind of shit, honestly, kind of shit glue on it. But yeah, besides that, it's hard to have very much negative to say because I like my gear now. I'm actually really happy with all the streaming gear I have and the gaming gear I have. So honestly, the only way to get me to replace some of it is to get something that is an upgrade, which is seemingly becoming harder as we go. Anyway, this is something people have asked me about lately because, well, some of you may have noticed like the lighting, the camera has gotten better, and people have been asking me, the lighting looks different, and then of course there were some questions when I replaced my mouse and my keyboard, like the keyboard wasn't as loud anymore, so here's an answer, I guess. Now comes the interesting part where I've recorded for 12 minutes and we'll find out if my phone mic is absolute garbage or not, because I could have probably just recorded on my PC and gotten much better audio. Professional, by the way.